What's up, everybody? So this is Luke with Wilson Auto Detailing once again, and going live today. So if you're watching on the replay, then welcome. Now, just a couple things for today. I already posted a video this morning regarding, what was it, maintenance detail plans. And so definitely check out that video if you haven't. I'm gonna try to prop my phone up here in a way that works. Let's see if I can get this. Hold on one second. Let's see here. Will that work? It's a little crooked, but that'll work. Okay. Anyways, guys, so today I wanted to talk to you guys about some business strategies and some business tips that you guys can take in your professional auto detailing world, especially if you're beginning. There were some things running through my mind. I'm taking the afternoon off today because when you work for yourself, that's what you can do, right? So that's awesome. But anyways, taking the afternoon off, and I wanted to write some things down and figure out what a good afternoon video would be today. So I decided to just go ahead and do it live. So I'm actually at a neighborhood pool right now. So if there's noise in the background, that's what it is. But anyways, so regarding beginning the auto detailing business for anybody who's starting, let's talk about a couple things and a couple essentials that you're really going to need to have if it's ever actually going to take off or work. And let's talk about a couple mistakes people make. Kelton, what's up? So good you're on the live stream. Great to have you. So anyways, guys, let's get into the very first thing. Number one, and I'm kind of surprised at how many people don't do this, but this is probably just a business tip in general. But for any auto detailer, obviously the first touch point that you have is going to be business cards, right? So business cards are absolutely essential for any professional auto detailer, especially if you're trying to get your business off the ground. And so if you don't have those, please stop doing yourself that disfavor, because business cards are going to be the first touch point you have with pretty much anyone, okay? And business cards are not just something that you can have in your possession to give to people, but it's something other people can have to give. Your friends can have them, your family members can have them to give to other people. And Kelton, yes, you did email me. So yes, absolutely. That was a good conversation. But anyways, guys, so business cards. Number one, by the way, just a couple business cards, just like tips that I wanted to give you guys real fast, is that number one, a lot of people try to fit way too much information in on that small card. And Colombian, what's up? Good to have you here. But number one, if you're going to make a business card, you need to make it simple, okay? People like simplicity, and they don't like to have to search for answers. So in my opinion, I think that a business card, especially for the professional auto detailer, ought to have maybe your logo, maybe your business name, and then that's it. And then you have your contact info. It's like those three things: your logo, your business name, and your contact information. And if you have things more than that, if you're trying to fit like what services you provide and stuff like that in a business card, you're making a mistake, because people don't want to read a bunch on a business card. It's just a simple touch point. It's not anything complicated. A business card is just somewhere that people can contact you. It's not supposed to contain the information that you provide, okay? So number two, other than business cards, here's the advice that I give any beginner detailer that, oh, Dylan, you have your first client tomorrow. Yes, that's amazing. That's so awesome. Okay, guys, if you're watching on the live stream, this is Luke from Wilson Auto Detailing, and we're talking about essential tips, essential business tips for the beginning auto detailers. And if you're watching on the replay, make sure to give this a thumbs up if you guys are like enjoying this content, if this helps. If you're watching on the live stream, don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up button. So anyways, the one piece of advice that I think is probably more valuable than anything that I give any beginner detailer that I consult with or email back and forth or anything like that is to take the minimum approach. And what I mean by that, and by the way, if you guys can't hear me, make sure to let me know, because this microphone is picking up the sound. So let me know if you guys are watching on the live stream, if you can hear me well. That would be, I would be grateful. So take the minimalist approach. There's this huge temptation inside of the auto detailing industry, especially, where people starting out tend to want to get the nicest equipment, the nicest products. Okay, Kelton, thank you. So they want to get the nicest products, they want to get the nicest equipment, and it's almost like they spend a bunch of money and they don't actually end up getting a bunch of clientele. It's kind of backwards. And so what I always encourage people to do is take the minimalist approach. Thank you guys for telling me you guys can hear me. So take the minimalist approach. Get almost less, way less than you think you need. So whether that's products or whether that's tools or equipment, try to get as little as you think you need. If you can think of the bare minimum, just the fundamentals that you need, only get those things. Eugene, great, I'm so glad you're watching. So take the minimalist approach, okay? Number 3, have a detailing process, right? So a lot of detailers kind of go in and they start detailing and they get a little bit of clientele, but they don't actually have a detailing process. And so what happens is they either spend more time than they need to on detailing cars because they don't have a step-by-step, like, this is what I do, and then when I get done with this, I go here, and then I go here, and then I go here. Oh, Chip, I'm so glad to hear that. And so what I would encourage you guys to do is have a detailing process in that after you clean the dashboard, you know you're going to the console, you know you're going to the seats, you know you're going to the carpets. You have a process because that way it'll keep you from getting frustrated, because when you don't have a process, a lot of times it'll probably feel like you're spending more time than you need to. GV, yes. That's why it's so hard for me to detail my car. Yeah, so definitely have a detailing process because that's gonna make your life way easier. Sorry guys, I'm gonna try to straighten the camera a little bit here. This is like the most rigged up ghetto. Okay, here we go. So try to have a detailing process, okay? Let's see, number 4. When you're beginning in the auto detailing world, I suggest this a lot to different people, but I think that it's a good idea for some of you guys, I think it's a good idea to only offer either the interior or the exterior. When you're just getting started, sometimes it's better to stick with only offering interior or exterior instead of offering both, because sometimes it can be very overwhelming trying to buy products, tools, equipment, all that sort of stuff when you're doing both, when really you have the option to why don't you just start with the interior, only focus on interior tools, stuff like that. It simplifies your world. It simplifies your world with your customers because there's much less communication necessary. There's much less money that's necessary, right? That's a huge issue for beginner auto detailers, is having the capital to even begin. And Dylan, you're asking which should you offer first, interior or exterior? And honestly, I think that's up to you. In my world, a regular exterior detail is much easier than a regular interior detail. And I think that's probably rings true with most auto detailers, in that detailing the interior is a more complicated process because you have so many cracks and crevices and you have so many tools that you can buy, yada, yada, yada. Whereas the exterior can be very simple. You can keep it to clay barring, washing, waxing, wheel wells, rims, wheels, tires. You can keep it to those bare essentials, and it tends to be a little bit easier, a little bit more simple when you're just focusing on the exterior. But I think you can choose either or. I might suggest the exterior if you're going for simplicity, but kind of the reason why you would want to choose one or the other is because, once again, it simplifies your world, it simplifies your customer's world, it allows you as a beginner detailer to get your feet on the ground and really start understanding your strategy and how you do things. It allows you to start understanding how you communicate with your customers. Yes, Chip, I totally agree with you on the O&R products. They really simplify your world. But all that stuff allows you to it even allows you to really practice communicating with customers in a more simplified way. And I just think that's all so good. Guys, if you're watching on the replay, or if you just joined in on the live stream, make sure to give this a thumbs up if it's helping you. And if you're watching on the replay, don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up button as well. So let's see, I think I was on number 4. Number 5, number 5, start with the fundamentals of detailing. So when you have your products, when you have your services, when you know what you're offering, start with the fundamentals. In other words, I hear a ton of beginner detailers who come at me and they're like, I want to know how to restore headlights. I want to know how to polish. I want to know how to do paint correction. I want to know how to steam the interior. And I'm like, dude, just start with the bare essentials, because you're trying to get in to level 10 stuff and you're not even at level 6 yet. Like, dude, just start with the bare essentials. Just start with the regular details. Stop trying to polish. Stop trying to do paint correction. Stop trying to do this stuff that takes a lot of skill when you're just starting out. And so I know that the auto detailing world really hypes up polishing and stuff, and so it's difficult to kind of get that out of your mind. But like, if you're beginning, as a rule, just don't worry about polishing. Like, just don't worry about it. Don't offer it. Like don't get caught up in that. Get the bare essentials down. Let's go to number 6. Don't walk. This is literally what I wrote down on my notepad. Don't walk into AutoZone and start looking. And so what I mean by that is, don't walk into some car, retail place, don't go into the car detailing aisle where they have all the tools and the products, because number one, it's going to tempt you to buy everything. Number two, most of that stuff's not going to work for you. And number three, it's a waste, okay? And it almost puts your mind in a place that it doesn't need to be. As a professional detailer, you need to be simplifying your world, and AutoZone and the detailing industry as a whole in the retail aspect of it is going to complicate your world. So make sure you're not doing things like that, okay? Number 7, I think we're on number 7. Don't spend money when you don't have customers, okay? So if I had a dime for the amount of detailers who are beginning and who go out and buy all these products, they buy all these tools, but they don't have any clientele built up or customer basis built up. So you're spending money, but you're not making money. And that is probably the most fundamental business strategy in the world. If you're not making money, don't go spend a bunch of money. Now, I understand you have to spend money to make money. I get that. But once again, for a beginner detailer, simplify your world. GV, where can we buy O&R? Go to my video, GV, go to my video on Optimum No Rinse. Go to the description box below the video, and there'll be a link to the Optimum No Rinse. And if you use my link, I get a very tiny, tiny, tiny commission, but every little bit helps, and it helps this channel stay alive and continue. So go to my video that I have about Optimum No Rinse and go to the description box. You'll find a link that'll take you straight to Amazon. So anyways, guys, don't spend money if you don't have the money to spend, okay? Go with the bare essentials, go with the fundamentals, go with the minimum that you need, and then build a clientele basis from that point. Okay, number 8, focus on gaining clientele, not buying products. GV, thank you. Focus on gaining clientele, not buying products. So what I would encourage you guys to do if you're beginning in the auto detailing world is to focus your money spent not necessarily on products as much as on building a customer basis. So once again, yes, you have to spend money to get some products, to get some tools in your arsenal. But I would focus the bulk of your revenue that is going out, the bulk of your revenue that's being invested in your business when you're beginning, I would focus that more on gaining clientele, on marketing, on advertising, more than I would focus that on buying products necessarily. Because once again, you can detail so many cars, you can get amazing results with very, very few tools and with very, very few products. And the mistake most detailers make when they're beginning is they want to buy a bunch of products instead of focusing on expanding their clientele. And they end up having a garage full of products and no one to use those products, no cars to use those products on. So I would just encourage you, if you guys are beginning, make sure you're spending and focusing that money on gaining clientele, not necessarily on products. Maybe 80% clientele, 20% products. Maybe that's a good ratio. Do you use a formula for your hot water extractor? No, I just pre-treat it with my Super Clean or my Meguiar's APC. I pre-treat it, I pre-scrub it, and the only thing I use the extractor for is to spray water and to literally suck it up to extract it. That's the only thing I use my extractor for. Okay, guys, if you're just joining in on the live stream, make sure to smash that thumbs up button if you're getting some value and some good content out of this video. Don't be afraid to give it a thumbs up. Okay, number 9. Yes, just use water only. That's what I do. So number 9, let's see here. Focus on tools and products that can reach a lot of areas. Okay, yes. So when you're focusing on products and tools that you want to buy, especially when you're beginning, make sure that you're not going for products and tools like when you're beginning, if you are buying a polisher. Well, let's think about this. A polisher has a very specific job to polish, okay? And maybe do some wet sanding. So, Ketlin, I'm sorry, I was reading your message, and yes, I understand. I understand that dilemma. But if you buy a polisher, the polisher, Ketlin, ask that again in 3 minutes. When you have a polisher, it can only focus on one area, and that's polishing. But let's say you buy a vacuum instead of a polisher. Well, you just invested your money in a nice vacuum. Well, what can a vacuum do? It can work on upholstery, it can work on the console, it can work on the dash, it can work on leather seats, it can work on carpeting, it can work on floorboards, it can work on all these different areas of a car. So instead of investing your money in something, in a tool or products that can only cover one specific area when you're beginning, why not instead invest that money into products and tools that can cover a very wide range, like an all-purpose cleaner? Why not buy an all-purpose cleaner that works very well on shampoo and carpets instead of buying an all-purpose cleaner and a carpet shampoo? Why not simplify your world, save money, and put that money into something that's going to really be able to cover a lot of areas? That's going to be something that's very beneficial as a beginner detailer. Okay, and number 10, and the final tip that I have for you guys today, number 10 is do not compare your auto detailing business and your auto detailing world professionally to other auto detailers. Do not go compare yourself to other people's business, because you're either going to get discouraged or you're going to get probably a lot of pride, and it might not be good for you. So don't compare your business that's just starting out to a guy's business that's been around for 10 years. That's not an apples to apples comparison. That's an apples to tractors comparison, and it's not going to do anybody any good. So definitely don't compare it to other detailers. So anyways, guys, that's my 10 tips that I have. Do you deal with more wash and wax, maintaining the car kind of clientele, or paint correction clients? I deal with more maintaining than I do paint correction clients. I definitely do some paint correction and I do some polishing. Like tomorrow, I have a polishing job tomorrow, but I don't have, I definitely have more just regular maintaining clientele than I do paint correction. And Ketlin, I would just say if you want a steamer, then definitely get one. It's definitely great. But I would say if you don't really have the money to get it, don't invest in that, because once again, you're younger, you're kind of getting this thing started, you're kind of beginning. So I wouldn't invest in something like that yet. I think that that's overcomplicating your world. I think I would keep it simple. And I think I might gain more clientele. I would gain more business. I would gain more income coming into my business before I invested that kind of money into a piece of equipment for my business. All right, guys, those are my 10 tips for you guys today that I have for all you beginner auto detailers. 10 business tips for the beginner auto detailers. What do I think about waterless washes? Rodolfo, you asked, what do I think about waterless washes? I think that they have their place, but I think that a lot of waterless washes are kind of going out because of products like Optimum No Rinse. Ketlin, I would buy a new Rug Doctor. I don't know that I would buy something like that used. I think a lot of waterless washes are going out because there's so many advanced products like Optimum No Rinse, which are not necessarily waterless washes, but they're rinseless washes, and they use so little water, and they minimize the risk of scratching. They leave a waxed finish. They do so many amazing things, and they can be used in so many versatile ways that I don't actually use waterless washes in my own detailing world. I don't see a point in it, and I think that a lot of times you kind of up the risk of scratching the paint when you use something like a waterless wash, because 9 times out of 10 you're working with at least a certain level of dirt, and if you apply a waterless wash over really any level of dirt, you're going to scratch the paint to a level, and I just want to take any risk of that out of my world as much as I can. All right, guys, if you guys have any more questions, I'm not going to answer them right now, but hook those up in the comment section below this video when I sign off, and I always answer questions within like 24 hours. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and let's see, what else? Yeah, if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Hook up your comments, your questions in the description or in the comment below. And also, if you're new to the Wilson Auto Detailing YouTube channel, definitely consider subscribing, because I come out with daily videos just like this one on not only business tips and communication tips for the professional auto detailers, but also things for the pro detailers and for the car enthusiasts, like products, tools, and strategies to use. So make sure if you're new, then you consider subscribing. Guys, thanks so much for watching and being a part of the live stream. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up. And as always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, I'll see you guys in the next video.